Your phone buzzes. A message flashes. Canada drops visa requirements for 10 Asian countries. You blink. Did you read that right? No embassy visits, no stacks of paperwork. Just a passport and a plane ticket. But wait, why now? Why these countries? And what does this mean for millions of travelers and for Canada itself? This is not just about easier travel. It is a geopolitical play, a tourism shift, and maybe something even bigger. Stick around because the countries on this list might surprise you. And if yours is one of them, your gateway to North America just swung wide open. Number 10, Brunei, Jerusalem. A tiny nation tucked on the island of Borneo. Wealthy, quiet, and often overlooked. But now it is suddenly at the center of Canada's latest travel shakeup. Ask yourself this. Why would Canada open its doors visa-free to a country with fewer than 500,000 people? What does Brunei bring to the table that made it jump the line? Here is the thing. Brunei is no ordinary microstate. With massive energy reserves and deep-pocketed outbound tourism, its citizens are some of the highest spenders per trip in Southeast Asia. Canada sees that and it wants in. But that is not the whole story. This move is also about forging new allies in a region where China casts a long shadow. Brunei might seem small on the map, but in the global game of travel, diplomacy and influence, it is now playing a much bigger role. And this visa change, that was the opening move. Number 9. Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China. A glittering skyline, a financial powerhouse, a city that never seemed to need help getting in anywhere. So why is Canada making this bold headline-grabbing move, now dropping visa requirements for Hong Kong passport holders? Ask yourself this. Is this about tourism or something deeper? The answer might surprise you. Tensions between China and the West are simmering. At the same time, thousands of Hong Kongers have been looking for safe havens, second homes, or future opportunities abroad. Canada is not just welcoming travelers, it is signaling support, freedom of movement, and long-term strategy. But this is not without risk. How will Beijing react? What does this mean for Canada's own diplomatic balancing act? Before we reveal the next country, and trust us, it only gets more surprising. Make sure to subscribe. That is how we continue bringing you the truth behind the headlines and content that dives deeper than the scroll. Number 8. Israel national passport holders. Sun-drenched streets, a booming tech sector, and a population that travels more per capita than almost any other. But here is the question. Why did Canada quietly drop visa requirements for Israeli passport holders? And why now? The answer lies beyond tourism. This decision is not just about flights and vacation plans. It is about strategy, influence, and something far more delicate: trust. Canada and Israel have long maintained strong diplomatic ties. From intelligence sharing to innovation partnerships, the relationship runs deep. But for decades, Israeli travelers still needed to apply for a visa to visit Canada. That changed quietly when Canada added Israel to its list of visa-exempt countries. Now Israeli nationals can enter with just an electronic travel authorization, skipping the embassy altogether. So what triggered the shift? In part it is economic. Israeli tourists spend significantly per trip, and business ties between the two nations have never been stronger. From tech startups in Tel Aviv to research partnerships in Toronto and Montreal, there is real movement and real money flowing in both directions. But geopolitics also plays a role, with the Middle East more unstable than ever, and Israel navigating complicated alliances. This move reinforces Canada's position as a safe and open partner in a shifting landscape. It also quietly aligns Canada more closely with its Five Eyes allies, especially the United States, where visa-free travel for Israelis was approved just months earlier. And here is something most people missed. This is not blanket approval. The exemption only applies to Israeli citizens holding a national Israeli passport. Those without one, such as residents of the West Bank or Gaza, are not covered under this change. The policy, while streamlined, is still layered and precise. For Canada, this is more than a travel decision. It is a signal, a calculated move, and one that speaks volumes about how carefully the government is navigating today's global map. One visa waiver at a time. Number 7. Japan, trains that run to the second, a culture built on precision, discipline, and global respect. Japan is a world power economically and culturally. So here is the twist. Why did it take until recently for Canada to fully open its doors to Japanese tourists, visa-free? What changed? And why is Canada making that shift now? The truth is not as simple as friendship between nations. This move, welcoming Japanese citizens with just an electronic travel authorization, is not just about convenience. It is about global influence, mutual trust, and long-term economic bets. Let us break it down. Japanese travelers are among the most sought after in the world. They stay longer, they spend more, and they often return. For Canada, tapping into that market means more than boosting tourism. It is a quiet economic win, especially as cities like Vancouver and Toronto deepen their connections to the Pacific Rim. But there is another layer: diplomacy. Japan is not just a traveler hub, it is a geopolitical anchor in East Asia, and a close ally to Canada's key partners, including the United States. As tensions rise in the Indo-Pacific region, from trade wars to territorial disputes, Canada's move to ease travel for Japanese citizens is a carefully timed gesture. One that says, we trust you, we want you here, and we see you as part of our future. And here is something most Canadians do not know. Despite decades of friendship, Japanese passport holders still had to jump through visa hoops for years. That changed only when Canada expanded its list of countries eligible for streamlined electronic travel authorization. A quiet policy shift that now signals deeper alignment. So yes, it may look like a small stamp in a passport, but this is part of a much bigger map, one where Canada is redrawing its relationships across the globe. Before we continue to the next country, make sure to subscribe. That is how we keep bringing you stories that go beyond the headlines and into the real reasons behind these global moves. Trust us, the next one might just surprise you. Number 6, Republic of Korea. It starts with a plane ticket, and now it is missing one thing: the visa. South Korean citizens can now travel to Canada without applying for a traditional visa, just an electronic travel authorization, and they are cleared for takeoff. But here is the real question: why now? What changed between these two countries that made Canada move? The Republic of Korea is not just a regional power, it is a global one. From cutting-edge technology to high-level defense cooperation, South Korea is one of the fastest rising players in international politics, and Canada has been watching closely. This decision is not just about tourism. Yes, South Koreans are frequent, high-value travelers. They love exploring international destinations, and often travel in family units or multi-generational groups. That is gold for Canada's tourism sector. But behind the smiling airport welcome signs lies a much deeper story: strategic alignment. South Korea is a major Indo-Pacific ally, with rising tensions in the region, particularly with North Korea's missile tests and China's assertive policies. Canada's visa policy shift sends a subtle but powerful message: we stand with you, we want more of you here, and we are ready to deepen the ties. And the timing is no accident. Canada released its Indo-Pacific strategy recently, calling for stronger economic and security partnerships in Asia. South Korea fits that strategy perfectly. Removing the visa hurdle is not just a convenience, it is an investment in closer cooperation. But here is what most people miss: this is not just about who gets in easier, it is also about who stays longer, who invests, who studies, and who builds futures in Canada. South Koreans already make up a sizable portion of international students and tech workers in cities like Toronto and Vancouver. Now that pipeline just got wider. So while it might look like just another stamp in a passport, this move is layered with economics, security, diplomacy, and future planning. Because when two middle powers look ahead in an uncertain world, sometimes the smartest play is to open the door. Number 5, Singapore. A city-state smaller than most Canadian provinces, yet holding more global influence than entire regions. Now ask yourself this: why would Canada, one of the largest countries in the world, go out of its way to waive visa requirements for one of the smallest? The answer: power. Not the kind you measure in land or population, but in wealth, stability, and strategic value. Singapore is one of the world's busiest travel hubs. Its citizens are among the most mobile and affluent on the planet, and they are planned. When they travel, they invest, they spend, and they build connections. For Canada, attracting Singaporean travelers is not just about tourism. It is about tapping into one of the most globally connected societies on Earth. But this move did not come out of nowhere. Behind the scenes, Canada has been strengthening ties with key players in the Indo-Pacific, and Singapore. It is the crown jewel of that strategy. This is a nation that punches far above its weight. From financial services to clean energy innovation, from cyber security to global shipping, Singapore has its hands in everything. And Canada sees the value in closer ties. There is also a growing urgency with global powers competing for influence in Southeast Asia. Canada is positioning itself carefully to stay relevant and visible. Removing visa requirements for Singaporean passport holders is a subtle but powerful message. We trust you, let us build more together. And for Singaporeans, the deal just got sweeter. They can now visit Canada for short stays using only an electronic travel authorization. No interviews, no long waits, just streamlined access to everything from Vancouver's investment forums to Bee's snowy peaks. It is a win on both sides. But make no mistake, this is also part of a wider, more calculated plan. Before we reveal the next country, take a moment to subscribe. That is how we continue bringing you the real reasons behind big global shifts. Because behind every policy change is a story that deserves to be told. And this next one might just change how you see the world. Number 4, Taiwan. Ordinary passport with personal identification number. A vibrant democracy with booming tech industries, and one of the world's busiest ports, Taiwan stands at the crossroads of innovation and geopolitics. So here's a question worth asking. Why is Canada now welcoming Taiwanese travelers without a visa, but only if they hold an ordinary passport with a personal identification number? This move is more than just easing travel. It is a carefully crafted balance between welcoming people and navigating a delicate diplomatic dance. Taiwan's political status remains complex, with Beijing viewing it as a renegade province. While many countries, including Canada, walk a fine line in their relation by waiving visa requirements for Taiwanese ordinary passport holders who have a personal identification number, Canada is recognizing Taiwan's unique status, granting easier access while maintaining official diplomatic ambiguity. Economically, it makes sense. Taiwanese tourists are high spenders. Their business ties with Canada are growing, especially in technology and education sectors. Students, entrepreneurs, and tourists now have a smoother path to Canada's shores. But there is a deeper message here too. Canada is signaling support for Taiwan's people without overtly challenging international norms or provoking China directly. It is a diplomatic tightrope, and here's something many don't realize. This policy excludes holders of other Taiwanese travel documents, reinforcing Canada's nuanced position. So while this visa waiver might seem straightforward, it is anything but. It reflects Canada's attempt to foster economic and cultural exchange, while carefully managing one of the most sensitive geopolitical issues of our time. This is more than travel. It's a story about balance, strategy, and the power of subtle moves on the global chessboard. Number 3, United Arab Emirates, a dazzling skyline piercing the desert sky, luxury cars cruising neon-lit streets, and a nation that transformed from oil sands to global hub in just decades. Sound like a scene from a blockbuster? It's reality in the United Arab Emirates. But here's a question. Why did Canada recently decide to waive visa requirements for Emirati citizens? And what does that say about the changing face of global travel and diplomacy? For years, travelers from the UAE needed to jump through visa hoops to visit Canada. Now with just an electronic travel authorization, they can enter more freely. But this is not just about easier vacations or business trips. This move signals a deeper evolving partnership. The UAE has rapidly diversified beyond oil, investing heavily in technology, tourism and renewable energy. Canadian cities from Toronto to Calgary are feeling the ripple effects with growing trade and investment ties. Emirati tourists and business people are high spenders, and Canada wants a bigger share of that market. But the relationship runs even deeper. The UAE is a critical strategic partner in the Middle East, and Canada's move reflects a calculated effort to strengthen diplomatic and economic ties in a region that's always shifting. And here's something many might overlook. This visa waiver is also a message to global competitors. It's a way for Canada to say, we see you, we want to build bridges. So while it might look like a simple stamp in a passport, this change is layered with ambition and foresight. Before we reveal the next country on the list, make sure to subscribe. That's how we keep delivering the stories behind the headlines, because what's next will truly surprise you. Number 2, Malaysia, a tropical paradise known for its vibrant culture, bustling cities and stunning landscapes. But dig deeper, and there's more at play than just beaches and skyscrapers. So here's the question. Why is Canada now welcoming Malaysian travelers? With easier access, waiving the visa requirement, Malaysia is a key player in Southeast Asia's growing economy, with strong ties in technology, manufacturing and education. Canadian universities see a steady flow of Malaysian students, while businesses from both countries are forging partnerships in sectors like clean energy and digital innovation. This visa waiver is not just about tourism. It's a strategic move by Canada to strengthen economic and cultural bonds with a nation that's rapidly modernizing and expanding its global footprint. But there's another layer. Malaysia's young population is eager to explore, work and study abroad. By removing the visa barrier, Canada opens the door to new opportunities for collaboration and growth. It's a win-win. Malaysian visitors gain smoother access to Canada's rich landscapes and urban centers, while Canada benefits from increased tourism, investment and cultural exchange. So what seems like a simple travel update is really part of a bigger plan, one that highlights Canada's intent to deepen relationships in a key region of the world. Number 1, Thailand, a land known for its bustling markets, rich history and breathtaking beaches. But what happens when travel barriers fall? Here's the real question. Why is Canada now allowing Thai nationals to enter without a visa? And what does that mean for both countries? Thailand is one of Southeast Asia's fastest growing economies, with a young, dynamic population eager to explore the world. For Canadians, it's a gateway to vibrant culture and new business opportunities, from tourism to technology and trade. By waiving visa requirements, Canada is not only encouraging tourism, but signaling a desire to strengthen economic and cultural ties with Thailand. Thai students seeking education in Canada, business travelers forging new partnerships, and tourists eager to explore Canadian landscapes now face fewer hurdles. But there's more. Thailand's strategic location in ASEAN, its regional influence, and growing middle class make it a key partner in Canada's broader Indo-Pacific strategy. This visa change is not just about ease of travel, it's a move to deepen ties and foster collaboration in a rapidly evolving global landscape. So beneath the surface of this travel update lies a story of opportunity, strategy, and mutual growth, one that could reshape Canada's connections in Asia for years to come. The world is changing fast, and Canada's bold visa moves are reshaping how we connect with Asia. From Thailand's vibrant streets to Malaysia's growing innovation, and the complex ties with Taiwan and the United Arab Emirates, these changes open doors for new opportunities and challenges alike. If you found this eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring you more deep dives into stories that matter. Stay curious, stay informed, and get ready, because the next revelations on global travel and diplomacy are just around the corner.